In my last YouTube video, I was talking about how I was going to do this channel to talk about my path to wealth and how I'm going to go from a former broke college student up to being a millionaire. There is a few ways to go about doing this. The one that I'm going to take in my particular instance is Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps. And if you're not familiar with those baby steps, they are save $1,000, pay off your debt except for your home, save 3 to 6 months emergency expenses, invest 15% into retirement, save for your kids' college, pay off your home early, and then live like no one else. So for the first step, save $1,000. This is pretty straightforward. Save $1,000 to build up a beginner emergency fund. That way, while you're paying off your debt, if something comes up, you'll be able to tackle most issues. There is some complaints about that, but it will cover most beginner issues, at least while you pay off your debt. Now, step two will be paying off your debt and for everything except your home. This will be any kind of student loans, any credit card debt, that kind of stuff. And you do the debt snowball method where you start with your smallest debt and then work your way up to your biggest debt. And Dave recommends this more to be a psychological thing because you will feel like you're accomplishing more than attacking it a different way. The other way that most people try to do is the debt avalanche method, where you attack those loans and bills and other forms of debt that have the highest interest rate. They think that this will end up with paying less money in the long run, which it usually will, but it doesn't have the same psychological benefit if you're attacking like a $4,000 loan compared to knocking out all of the loans that are lower than that amount. The next step, as I mentioned earlier, was save 3 to 6 months of expenses for emergencies. This basically goes based off of the budget that you form, and it's to cover all of your basic necessities for 3 to 6 months. That way, if something comes up to where you can't work, you lose your job, or your spouse loses their job, you're able to cover those expenses in case something comes up, and you don't have to worry about how you're going to make your bills be paid and that kind of stuff. Step four is invest 15% into your retirement. Now, he also recommends with this amount matching your 401k up to your company match, so that way you're giving the same amount of money they are giving. Dave also recommends investing in a Roth IRA. The Roth IRA allows you to deposit money and it's taxed when it's put into the Roth IRA, but when you pull it out at retirement, it will be tax free. So you end up paying less taxes on that amount of money. So if I put in $6,000 a year, I'm only taxed on that $6,000. And then by the time I'm 58, 59, or whenever you decide to retire after that, you will get the, say, $1-2 million or however much is in there. The only bad side of the Roth IRA is, as of right now, the maximum amount of money you can deposit into the account per year is $6,000. Step five is to pay for your or save for your kids' college. He recommends doing this with several different accounts, mainly to be prepared in case your kids decide to go to school. This will help them not have to have student loans just in case they don't get scholarships, that kind of stuff, to cover the cost of tuition. He does not recommend doing the prepaid school just because it doesn't always cover the amount of interest and all that with schools, tuitions going up, that kind of stuff, as things are money inflates and that kind of stuff. This step can also be skipped if you don't have kids or if you don't plan on having kids. Obviously, it would be a waste of time to save for a college expense that may not happen. Step 6 is paying off your home early. He recommends getting it paid off before the end of your mortgage term. This is so that way you don't have to worry about a home payment and can use more of that money to invest and give and enjoy life on. He also has talked about in a couple of his videos that most people think that having a mortgage is good because you get a tax write-off, but he said a majority of the time the amount of money that you're paying on the mortgage outweighs the tax write-off that you would receive. And then step 7 is retire and enjoy your money.